Look at him. He's just dickered. Just dickered, boys. Son of a bitch.
Yo, yo. Class A, and macro. Not connected, not elected to participate. Bouncing down the stems will make your head hurt. Enjoy the takes. Says her whose head burns from
Hey
hearing
everybody.
stories get burnt from gasoline.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Take Her Wide. This is episode 225. Just a big shout out to everyone who's been downloading and listening and subscribing and going to the homepage and signing up for the newsletter and everything. All the support that you guys have shown. It's fucking great. Really appreciate it. As always, I'm always trying to grow the show. So let me know how I can improve it. Let me know what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right. The feedback helps. It definitely helps me to make decisions and to how to make this better. It's my main concern. I just want to have a good fucking show with this thing. So let me get to the sponsors. The first sponsor is Heartbeat Hot Sauce. That's a hot sauce from Thunder Bay that my friend Al and his partner Nancy run. It's fucking delicious. They have the 3 brands. They've collaborated with Cancer Bats. They're on season 6 of Hot Ones. The Red Habanero is so good. What they're doing is a promo code where you go Take Her Wide 5. You'll get 5% off of your order, off your cart. So order in bulk and save some money that way. Heartbeathotsauce.com. Their peppers are fermented using traditional methods before being cooked with a few simple high-quality ingredients. There's no water added or thickening agents or chemical preservatives. The sauce is super natural. Al knows exactly what he's doing, and it's no surprise that they're doing really well. So if you like hot sauce, go to heartbeathotsauce.com, take a look, use the code, and get some fucking hot sauce. Also brought to you by DFA Tattoos. That is a tattoo shop in Montreal run by some friends of mine, and they're on board to support this. So if you guys are out that way and are looking for some good art, there's a fucking million tattoo shops you can stop in at. I'd say stop at DFA. I've seen them grow. They have, I don't know how many artists now at the shop. They can cover all styles. They care. They care. I like working with people who care. And I care about this show, and I want to give you guys and present you guys with things that are of quality. So for sure, DFA Tattoos is that. A great shop. All the artists are crazy talented. So if you're up that way, the address is 328 St. Catherine East, whatever. Stop in, say hi, take a look. Fucking super dope place with really good stuff. Shawnee, Angus, Melissa, Yanni, Josie, Amy, all those people there. Super talented people. So all love to DFA Tattoos for supporting this. Go get some tats. Also brought to you by Kevin Rigo of Hefner Toyota. He's in Kitchener. He's a car salesman. Great fucking guy. Supportive of this. Supportive of the DIY scene. He's a dad. He's a husband. He's a good friend. He's at 3121 King Street East in Kitchener. So if you're not sure of the whole process of buying a new car, and maybe first and foremost you want someone who's trustworthy and reliable, Kevin's that guy. He is absolutely someone that I trust. And you guys can trust him too. Go talk to him if you're there. Talk about the show, and he'll give you special pricing on new vehicles. So I guess level up in life if you can and get a new car. Go to Kevin at Hefner Toyota. Dapper Beard Oil is a beard oil from Ottawa. My friend Andrew runs it. Beard oil is something that, if this is your first sort of foray into it, it was for me anyways. Andrew takes his time and has created something that isn't overwhelming. It isn't something that stinks in a bad way. I feel like certain colognes or certain accessories, you might call them, be it whatever, something to, not hygiene isn't the right word, but when you're putting yourself together, something like this helps, and something like this isn't a crazy axe type shit. It's kind of what I want to get to. It's nothing that is overwhelming. It's subtle but good. He's taken the time to create 3 products that are all unique but all really good. They hydrate, help with beard dandruff, all 100% natural ingredients, all ethically sourced. If you're curious, go to dapperbeardoil.com and check it out. And you can use the promo code TakerWide free ship for free shipping. Use that code, save some money, try it out, and support someone who is doing something really rad. Not local, but local enough. He's part of the scene. He plays in Swarm of Spheres. He knows what's up. He knows the struggle. So go support him and buy some beard oil. Also, Wellington Brewery, that's the beer supplier. They're Canada's oldest independent brewery out in Guelph. They do some cool things where they are supportive of the community. They take part in supporting charities and, important causes. They have the Grbec beer, which of 25 cents of each can sold gets donated to Guelph Wellington Women in Crisis, which is really cool. They make delicious beers. I've been sipping on their Digger's Wit and the Bewitched Belgium IPA. Really good beers, and really cool that they give a shit to sponsor this. So if you're out and about, go show them love, support them. Lastly, Dave Levitt, photography.ca. If you're looking for a photographer in Cambridge, Toronto area, Dave is the man. He's done promos and music videos for me and my bands and other bands, websites, wedding photos. Really, really talented guy, a guy who gives a shit. And if you're curious, go to davelevittphotography.ca and you can see all the photos and just kind of get more contact with him. Find him on Facebook, like his page. Yeah, just all love to the sponsors. All love. These guys help me out. They believe in this. And I really hope you guys believe in what they're selling and buy some stuff. Go check it out. Take a look. So for this episode, I'm speaking to Simone Grbec. I think that's how you say it. Simone was our first driver on the first Sab's European tour. He's from the small town in Slovenia. And after a month of spending time with this guy, just a solid, real guy. And this was a fun conversation talking about touring and squats and a lot of rad shit with this guy. I miss him. I wish we could hang out with him more. I wish you guys could all get to know him. But this is a way to. A little conversation here with Simone. Here we go.
Yeah, I hear you. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. That's okay. We'll just do it like this. It's good to hear you, man.
Oh, yeah, good to hear you too.
Yeah, fuck, man. It's actually kind of... I've been doing this for a while, and I'm just more surprised with myself that it took this long for me to call you and just to call and say what's up, man. Fuck.
So what are you doing, actually?
Just a conversation. I do a podcast, which is just... I don't know, do you listen to podcasts or no?
Not really. I didn't find any information about it.
Yeah, well, mine is just I just talk to musicians, and I just basically call my old friends, and we just talk about music for whatever, hour, an hour.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like I have a little audience, and this is episode 225, so it's I've been doing it for a while. Yeah.
So you do it once a week?
Yeah, once a week. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's really cool, man. It's a fun way for me to keep busy because, like, since I had a kid and and kind of had to tour less, like, it's a good way to still stay connected to everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so busy lately, so I have no time even to listening to do anything or like listening to records or whatever.
What are you doing?
I just started a new job as a tourist guide in this cave.
Okay, yes.
I sent you the picture last time, and then I'm having a lot of stuff back home as well, like preparing the wood for the winter and just fixing some stuff at the house. So it
keeps you busy.
It's pretty busy. Yeah, I actually like it, but I don't have time even for my friends or my girlfriend or like going out to have a beer.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm gonna be done in about a week or two, and then I'm gonna have more time for during the summer.
So what's going on with the venue? Are you still have a hand in that or no?
No, I'm not taking care about the venue anymore for about 2 years. Now my friend Martin is taking care.
Okay.
I think it's already 3 years. I can't remember. When was the last time you guys played here with the Great Sabatini?
We were there 2015.
14?
15, I think. I think it was 2015.
Yeah, but
Let
I
me see.
think since then he's taking care about of. I'm still booking shows
Uh-huh.
and helping them out, but he's the guy in charge.
Is
I was
that
keep getting more busy and busy, and I didn't have any energy left to do all the paperwork over there, and I got tired, and I just decided to put it to somebody else, and then I found him. I chose him as the perfect guy to take care of the venue, and he started doing it.
how long has that venue been there?
This year we celebrated 52 years.
52?
Yeah, we just had a party about 2 weeks ago.
Holy shit. Has it acted as a venue that whole time? No.
The whole time, yeah. Not a single year of break.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah, there were a few years that we didn't have any shows. It was just like DJs and stuff. It was mostly in the 80s, but everything else was like being active all the time. While the music was changing, it started in '66, so the music was, I don't know, from like the early rock and roll stuff, but it was the mentality of the DIY sort of venue, like since all the beginning.
Wow, man. That's crazy to think of like what type of gigs were happening in Slovenia. Like and even the small cuz it's not a big city, right? Like it's a smaller
No,
city.
5,000 people live here.
That's so crazy. And that a
It's
venue has been
smaller.
around that long?
I know, it's smaller than your neighborhood.
It's so when I think about if there's any sort of like idea of what Europe is to me, it's like
Yeah,
that venue and you in that city, like small, but still will have a band from Canada come and people come out.
yeah, yeah.
It's a special little spot, man. Like I kind of wish we could have spent more time there.
I know, I know. You guys had a crazy long drive last time, right? You
Oh
came
my
from
God.
Switzerland and you went to Toulouse or something,
I
like France?
every day was like 10 hours. I think back, man. I think back to like fuck that first one we did with you and how the booking of it, like it was long, but there weren't that many crazy drives. It was pretty good.
What, on the tour I drove you?
Yeah. I feel like
No, like we were putting gas like once a week.
oh man, fuck.
You remember Belgium? It was like a 15 minutes drive every
Yeah,
day.
yeah. Yeah, it was fucking awesome, man. And I was thinking too, I remember when we met because Copa was supposed to drive for us, I think, or one of the Agipunk
Yeah,
guys.
something like that, yeah.
And kind of last second, they said like, "Oh, we have a driver." And I remember, man, I remember we were at Mila's place, and I saw you, and I was trying to size you up. I was like, "Who's this guy? Like, is he cool? Is he not?" Like, because Mark from when he was playing with Fuck the Facts, he had Mila had driven him, and he had all these good stories, and
Yeah, 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 yeah.
so it was that sort of like, "Oh shit, I don't." It was a last minute thing, but thank goodness, man. Like, you really helped make that first tour so much fun, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was a lot of fun, man.
It was so much
You know
fun.
that like a few weeks ago I was in this venue in Belgium and I knew I'd been there before and I tried to think about it for the whole night, but I just didn't know when or where it was. And then just before we left, I realized it was with you. I remember the show in Antwerp. I think it was like a matinee on Sunday,
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
early
Yeah.
afternoon. Yeah,
Yep. Music
it's
City,
like
I think.
a music city, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was the same spot. Then I remember the backstage when I went to the back. I kind of
Uh
realized it.
huh.
It's a lot of fun.
It's so much fun, man. And like, uh, yeah, it was such a good first experience. And I also like really just love that we got tattoos. Like
Oh yeah,
that's a
yeah,
big thing for me to like get bro tattoos like that's really special for me. So the fact that you got like one with us,
yeah. I got my first one,
that's
and now
so
I think I
crazy.
have 15 or 16. So yeah,
It why did you want to get a tattoo with us? Like I know we were getting along, but like that's kind of crazy to get a first tattoo with the band that you just kind of met.
I don't know. I just find it as a good idea, and we were having a very good time. And I know I will be like friends for you forever, I guess, or
Hmm.
something. And I still think that I'm never changing my mind. I will never regret that tattoo in my whole
Yeah.
life. I think it does have more sense that everything else I put on my body later.
Oh man, it's so great. And actually, there's another
Yeah,
buddy of ours in Toronto who has the same tattoo. He got
I
one too.
know.
Yeah,
Who's that guy?
my buddy Mike. He's he toured with the Sabs once. He did a tour in the States with us. So I don't know. I think it's just what it represents. And yeah, one day he kind of like meekly showed me. He's like, check it out, man. It's like, fuck, that's awesome. So cool. You guys have to meet sometime.
Yeah, I saw the picture, I think, on Facebook on somewhere, and I was like, hey, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
Fuck man, it was really good. It was good seeing you last time too. Like it was short and sweet, but
Yeah, so what?
we couldn't get enough time. You know that kind of sucked.
Yeah, no, I understand. And yeah, I'm kind of like glad that I didn't drive you last time because my dad was sick.
Oh really?
And
Yeah.
yeah, and the drives were crazy long, and I think that tour I was kind of driving too.
Hmm.
Actually, last tour I did a lot of touring as well, but I think I was about 6 months on the road
Wow, last
in
year?
total. Yeah, last year, and by the end of the year, I went to spend a month and a half to visit my girlfriend in Spain. She was doing some study exchange,
Cool.
and I just started realizing I don't want to do that anymore.
Hmm.
I mean, I still want to do it, but in Slovenia, it's hard to find a job that you can take off whenever you want and you go on tour. But now I
Yeah.
found this job here. It's like a seasonal job. It's a contract for 6 months,
Cool.
and then I still have a lot of time. Like I still have six months if I want to tour or do whatever I want. So, with will.
Would we? Yeah. That's good, man. Like the whole lifestyle I think of touring is, and especially for someone who's like you're actually working. Like a band is working, but it's different. Like I
Yeah.
felt that with Wojtek more than anything. Like our last driver, like it was a real job for him. Like definitely
Oh
sucked
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sometimes. With us it was.
Wojtek is doing a lot. I haven't seen him in a while. I think I saw him actually like a few days after your show in
Mm,
Slovenia. I went to Germany and he was touring with this band from Greece or something. And since then I didn't saw him anywhere.
yeah,
But yeah, I know he's pretty busy. He has a lot of bands now and stuff. So yeah.
it's a real job for him, and but I could see it getting old. It's people who do it for a long time. Like I don't know, it's kind of crazy to me that you would pick some strangers up, hope they're cool guys, drive their drunk asses around for a couple weeks. Like that doesn't sound super fun to me.
Like at the beginning was fun, but like in the past few years, I was mostly doing it for people I knew before. I
Uh-huh.
toured with them before or make shows for them or anything. And this year, before I decided to take off, I got some offers with like unknown bands from South America, Mexico, like everywhere. But I was just thinking about that. I don't know if I want to spend any more time with people I don't know, like
Hmm.
having 8 other people in the van.
Hmm.
It's already hard to control 3 people in the van. Like I don't want to think about 8 people getting wasted, and I need to take care of them.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I know a few people who do that like for a long time. They are close to their 60s and they're still driving bands around all the time. And
Jesus.
sometimes I was thinking I'm gonna do that, but I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah. That.
I'm definitely gonna try to drive if it's gonna be possible, you and your friends
Uh-huh.
around anytime. But let's see. I'm kind of like curious what was going to happen in January now. So did you start already booking the tour? Sort of.
Sort of. Yeah, we kind of mapped it out and haven't really got anything super solid yet. And it's only like last week that I kind of started doing anything. So,
Yeah. So how long is it gonna be?
probably 2 weeks from the
Two
9th to
weeks?
the 21st. So nothing too long.
Yeah. So you're gonna start, I guess, somewhere close to Slovenia because the second show you asked me will be probably here.
Yeah, and that's again still super kind of tentative. That's my plan, anyways. My first
Yeah. Yeah.
routing
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
had it like start off there, which would mean we should probably try to get to um, Italy, land there. But like
Yeah.
that's what we did last time. I think I kind of have to think too is like even when Wojtek drove us, he dropped us off in France, but then we still had to pay him to get him home to Poland.
Yeah, which is fucking expensive, right?
Man, we lost so much money on that last Sabatini tour. So much money. In the first tour we
Yeah.
did, well, there was two things. The first Sabs tour we did with you, the drives were all pretty short. All the merch that we sold helped offset the cost that we'd lose. And the second tour we did wasn't as long. All the
Because the first one
vinyl,
was what, 1 month, right?
it was like a month. Yeah, it was like 4 weeks. The second to the
Fuck.
28th. I know. I know. When I look
Yeah.
back, that's probably the last longest tour I've done. But the last Sabs one, all the merch, all the vinyl sales went back to the label guy in France. And yeah, we lost so much money on that last one, man. Fucking
Yeah, I can imagine.
yeah,
It must be hard sometimes.
yeah. And you know what, man? If I'm being honest, like it kind of was like a real critical wound to the band because that was like all the band money. And we haven't really toured much since then. So like we'd tour, make a little money, and we did that and we lost all our money. And then it's like kind of like starting from zero as a band. Like fuck, like we now have
Yeah.
to invest our own personal money in this thing to keep it afloat. It's tricky, but it's fun, man. Fuck, Europe is so much fun.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do, right?
Like we'll lose money. Well, we could lose money in the States, but yeah, I'd rather just go back. I was telling, there's some friends of mine that stayed at my place and they're kind of new, a new band, and they were talking about the States. And it's like, fuck, if you're really, like, just go to Europe, man. Like, have a good time in Europe. If you're going to lose money, if you know you're going to lose money, like, go lose money over there. What was your first tour that you drove, man?
My first tour that I drove by myself. So I started touring about 10 years ago, and I was going on tour with this. The first one was with two Czech bands. They were called Disney and Shiva Yoga. It was just a few days, I think like a week.
Uh-huh.
I just met them. Like even my English was so bad at the time, we couldn't even communicate together or something. I did a show for them, and we got super wasted on rum, and we just decided I'm going with them for like a few shows in Italy.
Huh.
And then the year after, friends of mine from Slovenia, they were called Anaeroba. They did a 3 weeks European tour.
Okay.
And a friend of mine, I don't know if you met Alex. He's a friend of mine from here, and he said, "Dude, I'm going on tour with these guys," and they said you can come with them too. So it was me and him as roadies. Like we didn't drove at the time. I just had my driving license for a few years, I think, and I never drove a van before. I didn't even leave the country before, and then we were partying in France in Nancy, and the driver, he was so wasted and he fell down off the chair and he broke his head and there was blood everywhere.
What?
And everybody was drunk beside me, and I was just like, come on, give me the keys, let's go to the hospital. And since that day I started driving every day, and on the next tour, it was a year after, me and Alex went again. Alex did his driving license in between, so we were exchanging like one day me, one day him.
Nice.
And yeah. And after that, I met, I think, Coppa and Mila, and I started going on tour with Punks for a little while. I think it was actually quite a long time, maybe like 5 years. And then I met other people around, and I just started doing like every sort of stuff, because at the beginning I just wanted to do like DIY, punk bands, whatever, you know, and then last few years I was doing these psychobilly bands from Canada, from Montreal, The Brains and Gutter Demons.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they were cool people. We had a lot of fun, but the drives were crazy long. Like there was this booking agency from Germany, and like seriously, we were making like 900 kilometers a day,
Oof.
and yeah, it was a lot of drive.
That's that was like, yeah, that was our last tour. Is that common? Is that common to have like big European long drives? Like, was that Sab's tour a
No,
rarity? No.
No, it's like sometimes when there is a big booking agency and they're looking just about a good guarantee for the band, but they send them on the other side of the country or the other side of Europe, and you know, like the good guarantee goes all in gas and tolls, so there is not really necessary to do it. I don't know if you remember, like I think that one of the best tour for driving for me was definitely the Great Sabatini tour when I was with you guys, because it was crazy. Like I never did like usually I'm doing gas every day, but I remember that time it was maybe like twice in 10 days or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
or in two
Certain
weeks.
spots there was like, yeah, we saved a lot of money that way.
Oh yeah, like we were playing all these crazy small towns and bars and places, but I think it was still cool and it was a lot of fun.
It was. I went through looking at all the dates and kind of ran through each city in my head, and like on a whole, most of those shows were pretty good. Like that Croatia show
Yeah.
was really bad, but
The Croatian show was so bad, man.
fuck.
Oh,
I
fuck.
I
Do you remember
remember.
the dinner? The
Yeah,
dinner was, I think, it was some barbecue meat, but
yeah.
it was old for a few days, and he just heated it up on the barbecue again or something.
I remember trying to find the venue. We just found some guy on a motorcycle like, "Hey, where's I think it was called Club Tank or something like that. Where's
Tank, yeah, it was called Tank.
But that was the one stinker, but the rest were all pretty good. And even the last
Yeah,
Sabs
yeah, yeah.
tour, the shows didn't suck. Like there was only a handful of really bad ones. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we played it in Switzerland to like a full, 50 people. Nobody bought merch. And I don't know if we got
Nobody.
paid. Nobody, man. It was just a party. Like we could have just been farting on a mic and they would have danced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of
I'm kind of
sucked.
surprised how many people bought the merch from you last time you played in Slovenia, because like mostly I didn't even realize, but a lot of my friends they all had the Great Sabatini shirts.
Man, it was your show for us was a really good, probably one of the best shows of that tour.
Yeah, there wasn't that many people as I remember, but the show was fun.
It's still pretty good. That sound guy was really fucking good.
Yeah, so that's Martin. He's the guy who is taking care about the venue now.
I felt
Yeah.
so we were being buddies with Wojtek, and then we saw you, and I feel like he's like an ex-girlfriend. We like just kind of left him and like went to like our new girlfriend. But whatever. He probably appreciated the time to
Yeah,
sleep,
but
but
I remember I knew Wojtek before you guys came with him. Like he told me he's gonna be this Polish guy, but I didn't know who it is. And
uh,
then when I saw Wojtek, yeah, Wojtek is a legend. Like I saw him so many times around.
man, he
Like
fuck, he's like we were calling him the Terminator just for how he was so like same as you, really professional and organized, but like he, doesn't party and especially with the long drives, he was always in such a good mood and just crushed the drives like fuck man, he was a really great driver. He really helped that last tour as well for
yeah.
sure.
Hey, dude, do you remember the dinner in Czech Republic? It was a zebra or something
Yeah, yeah, I
from
remember.
Africa.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was that weird night where like Rob fell in love with that girl.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man, I
Yeah,
remember that
I
night.
never made it to the dinner because I passed out before. I met this friend I knew, and we were drinking some booze, and I just went to sleep in the van before the show started.
I have a great picture of you on my Instagram where you're just shit faced at that show.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you do?
yeah, I remember because I zoomed in on your face and it's like a close up face of. I'll have to pull it up. I'm sure I put a hashtag of something silly, but yeah, man, that was
Uh,
a. I remember that was a show where you were kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna sleep in the van just to be safe. It was one of the few shows where you slept in the van. It was
yeah, yeah,
some
yeah.
real small town. Remember that other show with the absinthe at the show and Joey got sick and it was like Club Maryland. There's like a young
Yeah, yeah,
couple
yeah,
running
yeah.
it.
Fuck, when the police came and they
Yeah,
kick everybody out.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
That
remember that.
that
Yeah,
one.
I remember that girl, Martina.
Yeah,
That,
Martina. She was
oh, that was a lot of fun too.
she was excited to be at the show, and she was so mad that she got a drinking. She got a fine. Remember?
Yeah, because she was underage, I think. She
Yeah,
was like 17 or something.
yeah. Holy
Yeah.
fuck, man.
Do you remember the guys from Hungary, that town called Szekesfehervar or
Yes,
something? They
yes.
were bungee jumping,
Yeah,
intergalactic
yeah,
bungee jumping.
yeah. Fuck yeah, these guys we met. We played this small show, and man, I can't even name. It was like Czechas. It was a long, weird.
Yeah, I think it's called Szekesfehervar or something like that, but I'm not good with that name because it's so long and so complicated to pronounce.
They were rowing a boat. Remember, they were like, I think while we were playing, they all like kind of got in a line on the floor and were pretending to row a boat, and
Yeah, yeah.
Afterwards, they wanted to get shit faced, and yeah, Intergalactic by Beastie Boys was playing, and they were saying intergalactic bungee jumping, bungee jumping.
Intergalactic, yeah.
Fuck, man, a lot of good fucking memories from that first one, man, and more like really having you on was really cool because we really became close friends, man. And I think it's because the drives weren't long. We could party, like
Yeah, we had a lot of time to chill out and do
yeah,
whatever we wanted.
yeah. Like we went to the museum. You took us to the Geiger Museum.
Oh, that is awesome. I'm still going there like very often, kind of, but I'm not going into the museum anymore. I usually go to the bar to get a coffee or something.
Oh, that
But it's still a nice
crazy
place to be.
coffee joint place with all the bones inside. That one.
Oh yeah, it's in Czech Republic. It's called Kutna Hora.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah. It's funny. Yeah, I see
Yeah,
pictures from people going over there, and like, yeah, I remember that. Was
yeah,
that
yeah.
like doing a how many of those do you have to do a year to kind of stay afloat? Like, do you? I don't because it doesn't seem like it would pay that much really when you break it down per day. But like, is it enough? Was it enough for you to like not have to work another job when you were home? I just
Yeah, by the time it was, but like I was still a kid at the time. What was that? 2011, I think. Yeah.
2013. The Sab's first one was 2013. I
Can you
think.
repeat that? Wait a second. I just have a connection problem.
That's
I'm just
okay.
gonna try to switch it again.
Let me see. I'm actually just looking it up right now. Europe.
Oh,
Hello.
yes.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. Better now. Yeah.
Yeah, 2013.
Uh, yeah. But the time was. I think it was enough. I was still living in Ljubljana in a small house with some friends. So I think I just moved out. I can't remember. But all the stuff I got later, it was paid much better.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was. I think it was like twice the stuff I was getting by the time. But even like last year, it was enough because I need to consider that this job was paid well, but you cannot do it every month. Like last year, I did 6 months and 6 months no, and I think it was enough. I'm like I don't spend that much money. Like
Yeah, yeah.
even during the weekends, I booking shows. I don't get paid for that, but I get free drinks. So
Yeah.
I can get wasted for free. That's like my payment. And
Yeah.
usually I'm not a guy that is hanging out and like spending tons of money. Like the
Yeah.
only money I'm spending are records mostly, but that's it.
Records and
Yeah.
tattoos. It's yeah, it's a thing that I get now as I'm getting older about the money and trying to lose less and less and making moves. Like I'm kind of in that point right now where it would really help my family out if I had a better job or something.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of at the point where I'm thinking like, fuck, like, do I pull back even further from my flexibilities from my jobs and find a better job? Like we do okay,
So
but it's
what kind of job do you do now?
well, I work as a custodian at a church, but
Oh,
that's all.
wow.
Yeah, that's only part time. And then
Okay.
I also do part time maintenance at a hotel. So it's flexible, but
Oh, right. You work at the Holiday Inn. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah. It's not. It's yeah. We stayed at one. Remember?
Yeah.
Um,
Trying to sneak five people in a four-bedroom
yeah.
room or something.
And the lady was hip to us. She's like, I don't think you can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a. I kind of feel maybe the same as like I would need to make some moves to figure out a way to just get a better paying job. And even like really part of it is if this podcast can do well and kind of offset some of the costs, that would be great. But yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. Like I'm not the skills that you have, tour managing and driving, it's a skill, but it's like where do you put
Yeah.
that into the real world to get a job?
Yeah.
It's tricky.
I know. Like, dude, it was so hard to find a job here.
Yeah.
Uh,
In that
because
small
like in
town.
Slovenia, there is not many options. But then I was like, I found this one. It's kind of cool. If you guys are coming back, I'm gonna bring you to those caves. It's very beautiful.
Mm, that'd be fucking
Yeah.
awesome, man. Yeah. I was thinking of like how I'm trying to picture you as a young kid growing up? Like we did talk about this in the van, I think, but like when you were a kid, was it your parents that got you into music, or was it your buddies?
Oh, it was my buddies. Like when I was 12 years old, I got into the punk scene. Like I knew about the venue because I was when I was a kid, I was doing karate above
Okay.
the venue in the big hall.
Huh.
And all the bands that they were coming by in the 90s, we were listening to their sound checks and stuff. So by the time I was, I don't know, like maybe 10 years old, something like that, I didn't really like the music. But then when I grew up a little bit, I started liking it. And I think by the age of 13, 14, I already went to see my first show at the venue.
What was it? Do you remember?
And so the first show, it was B-Nuts. It was a ska band from Germany, and Pictures, which was more like some crazy noise hardcore band from California. They were on Alternative Tentacles
Oh, okay.
Records.
Uh-huh.
It was so crazy, but since it was my first show, it was tradition to get super wasted, and me and my friend we went to this bar and we were drinking rum cola for the whole night, and we spent all our money on that shit. And when we got to the venue, we were completely broke to buy the entrance.
Oh,
And yeah, we were just spending our time outside throwing up and being super bad. Yeah, but then the year after I went again, and I went to see it was like two Croatian punk bands from Pula.
okay.
Actually, one from Pula, one from Šibenik. They were called Nula and Fuck Off Bolan.
Huh.
And since then, I was going to see like I don't know, like once a month, and then slowly every show. And then I started booking show after like 2, 3 years.
So you're like 16 booking shows there?
I was 18, I
18.
think. Yeah,
18. Yeah, growing
yeah.
up. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, sorry, I cut you off. I was just gonna say, just go ahead.
No, 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 no. It's fine.
Um, the scene there. It's kind of interesting that this small town would have support for touring bands from California. Like, is the venue run by the city? Like, does the city have a hand
No,
in it?
no, no. It's just run by us. Like it was the city doesn't really like us, and even the house.
Really?
It's not from the city, but it's from like a sport union in Ljubljana. So like recently we got a new roof. We had some complications with these owners before, but then we got an opportunity. So they just gave us like 40,000 euros to fix the roof because the roof was falling slowly into the house.
Wow.
And they gave us even more money to buy new windows. I don't know,
So
it was kind of weird. Like nobody actually understood how we got that money.
yeah.
But yeah, so like nobody was really giving a shit about us except for people and bands. Like bands from all over the world were coming to play, and people even like Croatia, Italy, Slovenia, from everywhere they were coming to see shows over here because by the time, especially when the war started in Yugoslavia, like all the bands in Croatia, uh, they didn't have any place to play over there
Hmm.
because of the war. So they were all coming to play in Slovenia, and our venue was like always a welcome, for all these bands, especially because we understood the hard time that was going on in Yugoslavia.
Uh-huh. Huh.
So yeah.
So when you say they gave you money for the roof, so there's like like someone owns the house and you guys pay rent every month, or
No, no, like we never paid rent here. So the owners, it's a long story, but it was like like a group of sports during the Yugoslavian times, and when we got independence, these new owners they just start owning the house with no reason. It was like a new association,
huh?
and before a few years, we got this new law about paying a lot of money for every house. So they realize they have 150 houses all over the country, and they're gonna be broke if they're gonna start paying all these stuff
Ah,
around. So they
okay.
they came to us and they said, "Listen, you never paid any rent. We're gonna fix the house for you. Uh, wait just a second.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Uh, Samadou, sono a telefoni." So yeah, they said, what I was saying?
So something like with they had 150 houses and they were gonna go
Oh
broke.
yeah, so they decided we're gonna be start paying the tax on the house, which was
Okay.
about, I don't know, 2,000 euros a year.
Okay.
It's like a small rent, so we agreed with them, but the law never started working, so
Huh.
we still don't pay anything to them,
That's
which
crazy.
is cool. It's
Yeah.
so easy, man. Yeah,
That's so nuts. That whole the all the I really opened my eyes over there seeing like even that first gig in Switzerland at Rossley or whatever. Like something do you
yeah.
remember yeah, that was Switzerland, but something
That was in
that's I think that
Where
was
was that, in
Switzerland.
Bern?
Bern, yeah.
Yeah,
That shit
that house was very good.
oh my god. Just the fact that those things exist and there's some places that the government have a hand in like in Ontario like the province I'm in they have grants like for creators like we've gotten actually Grbec got a touring grant so there there's the
Yeah,
government is helping musicians but there's not really the same scope of the amount of venues like or be it a squad or be it whatever else might fall under
yeah.
that like because I don't think you guys would be really a squad. You guys aren't really squatting there. Like it was kind of given to you, right?
Hello?
Oh, did I lose you?
Did we lost connection?
Can you hear me?
No, oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, it's okay. Yeah. It's well, I was just saying that it's not there's not really things like that over here in Canada or at least
Yeah, like I think that the whole North America is the same. We were always talking about the differences between Europe and North America, and yeah, this is one of the biggest differences that you guys don't have these kind of places anymore. I mean, you
yeah.
never had them, I guess.
No, well, it's just I think of a story that Wojtek was telling us about how there was a place that wasn't being used and they just squatted it. And the owner came in and they were just like, listen, man, like no one's here. We're not ruining it. We started a garden. And the guy kind of saw it and was like, yeah, there's like a little bit more open-mindedness, it seems like over there. Because over here, like, the cops would just come and you'd get evicted in 2 seconds. Like squatting just doesn't really happen over here. And it's kind of a shame because venues could be opening up, but I don't know. There's a thing about I found like punks in Europe and punks over here. There's a difference.
Yeah,
Like punks.
what is it?
Well, I think punks in Europe are a little more real, more organized, more. Maybe that's changing, but there's like I have stereotypical views. There's like a European punk, which I would consider like you or Wojtek or Marco or whoever else, that is organized and passionate and like being a punk in Europe carries more weight than it does in North America. When I think of being a punk over here, I think of spoiled kids who, live generally safe lives and don't really stick their neck out and I know those types of people all over the place, but there's a whole community of punks that are organized. Like even like think of OEF, right? Obscene Extreme. Like that's like a punk community running it, and it's fucking super pro. And I don't feel the same type of shit over here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what's your perspective on it? Do you feel that way? Like punks in Europe versus punks over here?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I'm not sure about it. Like I never been there, so it's hard to describe that, like. But from the stuff I'm seeing here, like people I met, I don't see any differences. Like sometimes I have a lot of friends, for example, from Portland. They started like a DIY community.
Mm-hmm.
They opened their own space. Like it's all legit. It's like a bar, and all the money they get, they just spend it on paying the rent and paying the taxes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way different and a way harder than over here, but they
Hmm.
can still do it, I
Yeah,
guess. But it's a lot of work, and
it totally
I
is.
don't know, man. Like I think I will get like a better idea when one day when I will go to North America or Canada or like.
Yeah, yeah. We'll do another one of these, and I'll ask like, so what do you think of all these punks over here? It makes me think of even when we were in Vienna, and remember that guy Mental at EKH, whatever something house. I forget what it was called.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
The in Vienna, when we played
Yeah.
there at that
Oh yeah.
that mental guy, but he was just saying about how they literally had to like fight off neo-Nazis there, and the cops wouldn't do anything about it. And even when I was talking to Marco about this too, like there's a real it's I feel like it's just harder out in Europe. Like maybe there's more neo-Nazis. Like, and now things are definitely seems like they're changing. It seems like there's a lot of that shit happening over here.
Oh yeah. I think it's getting again like with all these immigrants coming through and like a lot of people. We just had like the elections for like the new government like
Mm-hmm.
last week, and the right wing won.
Really?
And yeah, it's almost everywhere in Europe. Like people are getting afraid about
Hmm.
all the immigrants, and they're saying that in a few years it's just gonna be like Muslims everywhere, and everybody's scared about their own identity and stuff. It's kind of I don't know, like it's all this new stuff that is coming here. It's kind of strange.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it sucks because I think when you think of, let's say, these terrorist acts, like how small of a percentage it is of a group of people, but it bleeds out over to here. I had a buddy, not even a buddy, this guy I worked with, who didn't want to go to Europe. He was like, he was too scared to go to Europe, because of
who your buddy?
well, this guy I work with, but the mentality of that fear is here, and we don't get the same sort of number of attacks that seem to happen in Europe, but
Yeah,
it
there were
is.
not any attacks lately. Like it was kind of fine, but I remember that you guys were like a part of the attack in Paris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, yeah, we were close to it. It was really crazy and really scary, but
Yeah.
there was a fucking guy in Toronto. I don't know if you heard, but he took a van and he ran over a bunch of people here,
How long ago?
like a month ago, 2 months ago.
Oh shit.
and
I didn't
and
know, no.
yeah, and I thought like, oh shit, like this is, it'll maybe some extremist or something, and it kind of was, but it was more of this anti-woman. Now I could be speaking wrong here, but everything that I've kind of glossed over was this guy who was mad because he couldn't get laid, and he's part of this incel group. It's like a thing of angry men, and yeah, I think he was targeting women. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's really crazy right now if that shit's happening, and then whatever's happening in Europe with the attacks, and it's it is scary because I'll catch myself being somewhere in public and I'll kind of be like, oh shit, am I safe? And I had never really thought that way before. It sucks that I would think that way.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's hard. Like even like now in when I was in Spain visiting my girlfriend, we were walking one day. There was some. It was Christmas. It was around Christmas, and like all these police and fire trucks started going up and down the city, and like we didn't know what was going on, but the feeling was kind of weird. Like me and her were thinking there is like some sort of attack or something, so we just decided to go back home and just
Yeah,
stay there.
yeah, yeah. It sucks, man. Like, I don't know. It's really too big of a thing for me to even try to tackle. Like, I don't really, can't even really commentate. I make commentary on it because it's terrible and terrifying, and I hope that I never am a part of it. But yeah, that Paris shit was really crazy, man, and
Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't imagine. Like it was like a nightmare, in that if you're having a nightmare and you can't wake up and you realize like, oh, this could. I just remember thinking like, this could get really real for me. Like, you hear things, right, and you don't experience them. I don't know what it was like to experience that, but we were close enough to it that it's like, is it just around the corner? Like, I honestly started going into my own head and thinking like, shit, is someone gonna come into this venue, because we're at a venue and it was a fucking great show. Is someone gonna throw something into this window? Should we not be by the street? Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It was not like I wanted it to end, it's like, fuck, I just want to get home. And I remember we almost like canceled the tour, but We were
So
thinking
did you guys play the show last time over there, and when it was happening or not?
we were playing
It
in
was after the
Paris.
show?
No, it was we so we were playing and it was going great. We were gonna do an encore. Like people were like, "Fucking play another one." And we were like, "Fuck, all right." And this guy came down and he said, "Stop, stop, stop, stop the music. There's something happened. There's been a shooting." So we were like, "Okay." And it got from there elevated to everyone on their phone and
Yeah.
we were.
So you didn't really know what was going on, right?
No, no, no. We were playing when it all happened, and then yeah, I remember being upstairs in sort of like a green room with just whoever like squeezed themselves in there, and we were all just kind of. Some people were like crying, and some people were laughing, and people were having beers, and it was weird,
Yeah, yeah,
fucking weird. Yeah, yeah, we were. Yeah, it was. It was pretty fucked. It was really fucked actually. But yeah, we were gonna
yeah.
cancel the tour. We were just gonna go home. But thinking like, I think the odds of being in a terrorist attack are pretty low. And to be, here's my head. I was thinking like, okay, so we were pretty close to one. They don't really happen that often. What are the odds that it's gonna happen again to us? So that was enough for me to be like, well, we'll be okay. I don't think we need to cancel the tour.
Yeah. Well, when I was on tour after that, because I think that the one in Paris was one of the first committed by the extremists, and I remember when I was on tour after that, it was happening still a few times, and I was just being in those cities like a day before,
Fuck
or
it.
I came there a few days after. I don't know, like London, or I remember some other cities as well, but. Yeah, yeah, it was like not a nice feeling to hear that, that somebody was just walking around the streets and killing people with a knife or with a gun or I don't know.
I know, man. I remember playing Berlin after that because we did Paris, I think on Friday, and then Berlin was Saturday. And do you know Marco from? He's an Italian guy. He plays in. He played in Kano. He played in. The fuck is the band name? Gaia, some guy.
No, not sure.
Black Motive DIY was his like booking agency or something. Anyways, he did the show for us, and he drove my friends before. And I remember just that show afterwards, the sense of fear, but also the sense of like. You kind of realize like, wow, I'm really happy I'm alive and not wasn't part of that, and I'm able to play a gig with people who are, what it should be in a safe space, making music, because that's all
Yeah,
those people were doing at the show, making music and enjoying it, and yeah, it was intense.
yeah, I know.
I'm now thinking like, maybe I'm not gonna go to Europe. No,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go, man. I'm gonna go. So in all the years of like driving these bands, is there you don't even have to name names, but I'm sure you've had bad experiences, and I know we talked about it before, I think, but like
If I
what?
had bad experiences,
Yeah, like what was the worst tour as far as like just leaving gear or leaving members or like something that you might have been like, this is the last time I'm driving anybody.
so I had this tour, I think it was 2014. Um, Let me think about it. So yeah, I did a tour with this band, Speedwolf. It was a very long one, and I came home. I think it was five weeks with them, and then I came home and I got a mail from Mila if I want to do another tour for about 16 days, like a short one. But we had like crazy long distances. We played in the very east, close to Ukraine, and then we went all the way to Scotland and everything in
Oh,
between. And it was three death metal bands from Sweden, Italy, and Germany. And I was never like a big death metal fan. And at the beginning, I was getting along together with the bands, but there was one band, like a few members, that were pissing me off all the time because of like getting wasted. And I don't know, man. It was just when I got back home from that tour, I remember that even my grandma died like the day after, and
fuck.
I was so exhausted, and I was even sad because of that, and I couldn't
Uh-huh.
sleep for a few days. Start taking sleeping pills. I was not feeling really great,
Hmm.
and I think, but by that point, I didn't go on tour for many months. I was staying like I think 6 months. I was just staying at home and thinking if should I continue or not, and then I still decided to do it. And yeah, but I didn't have that many. I think I had like 80% of good experiences and 20 of like of
Yeah.
not good experiences, but not that many very bad, you know
That's
what I mean?
well, it sounds like a job. It sounds like the percentages of any job. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's good most of the
yeah,
time.
exactly.
Sometimes
Like
it sucks.
when my friends were asking me how it is, I actually said that it's like a normal job. You can have a good day, you can have a bad day,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Hmm. Did you ever like play in bands and tour yourself?
no, never, never. That's why I decided to start touring with bands because I never had my own. I never know, and I still don't do how to play an instrument. I'm not patient enough, and I think I'm just not a guy that will like to perform on stage. So
No?
that's why I decided I want to do everything else
Huh.
beside that. And when I started booking shows and I saw all these bands coming through, and they always had a few persons extra. It was never just the band. So I always wanted to find out what these extra persons are doing on tour to be with these bands.
Yeah. Huh.
And that's how I start like being interested in doing merch and just do what everything else it's needed. So like last year I got this opportunity. I was on tour with Doyle from the Misfits,
Oh wow.
the
Okay.
guitar player. Yeah, and it was my first tour being in a nightliner. I
Wow.
was just in charge to do the merch, and that
That
was like very, very, very good.
yeah.
Like I had still a lot of responsibility, but it was nice. You just go to sleep during the night and you wake up the next day in another town, and you know.
How big shows were they doing over there? Like capacity wise, like 1,000
I'm
people? Or
sorry?
how big were the shows?
It depends. Germany was pretty good, but then I know that we went to Hungary, Czech Republic, Italy, France, Spain. All the shows in the south and east were not that good.
Huh. Like what do you
Yeah.
mean like not that good? Like 100 people or like
Yeah, 100, maybe 200.
yeah. So
You know.
when I think of these bands that like bigger bands and how much they do in merch, was it
Oh, it
overwhelming?
was a
Like
lot.
yeah, to just like fuck all night you're selling merch?
Yeah, I think I was doing more money on merch that they were taking from the door.
Fuck yeah, eh? Jeez, that's so
Yeah,
crazy.
but it was so much merch. I think we had like 25 different shirts, long sleeves, and
Holy
hoodies,
shit.
designs. I was setting up the merch for like 2 or 3 hours with so much stuff to like reorganize every day and recount. And I don't know, they had stickers and magnets for the fridge and
Yeah,
like
everything
some
fucking rulers
everything.
and
Yeah.
yeah, fucking
And
two.
then setting the strings from Dole and the sticks from the drummer.
Did you have
It's
to
like, yeah.
do a lot of reorders like on tour? Was it like every venue you'd get a new shipment of new shit, or how did that work as far as keeping a good stock of stuff?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Did you guys have to order more merch like midway through the tour?
No,
Or?
no, no, we didn't. We thought we might gonna be, but then we had enough till the end of the tour.
Hmm.
We sold out a few of the designs, like the tour shirts and stuff.
Hmm.
But all the rest was fine till the end of the tour. Because as I said, like Germany was crazy good. Like all the shows and the merch was very fine. But then it started dropping down a little bit, and
Hmm.
yeah, the shows were kind of weird.
If
Uh,
what would you? Because you have tons of experience. Like what's worth hitting in Europe, or at least what's not worth hitting? Because I've always heard like Scandinavia is not really worth it. Um, like let's say a band is gonna go for the first time, because there's people listening who might want to go to Europe for the first time. What countries should they hit, and which ones shouldn't they hit, in your
so
experience?
like even Sweden is fine if some people know you and you have the right contacts. Like I was in Sweden for so many times, and I had bad experiences and good experiences. Like last year, we did a Scandinavian tour with this band from Portland called Hellshock. We went all the way up to the north and Finland and everywhere, and it was very good.
Hmm.
But for a band that goes, for example, from Canada for the first time to Europe, I would
Mm-hmm.
suggest just to do maybe like a 3 week long tour,
Hmm.
same as you guys did, like the countries you choose for the first tour. So, that's like Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Denmark, Austria, Czech, Slovenia, Croatia. I
What?
think this is more than enough to have like an idea how does the tour works in Europe
Hmm.
and how money you can get on shows to at least cover the expenses of the tour and stuff like that.
Is it
And
hard for like because you book shows and like a thing I had to learn was the daily expense, the gear, the driver, the van, and gas and tolls. Like to ask for like 200 euros, is that it's hard. Like that's how much you fucking need. But if you're a band that doesn't pull anybody,
yeah,
it's
that's
almost hard
that's
to
like the
ask for it.
minimum. That's like a minimum a band should get because with the renting of everything and as you said the tolls and gas it's about 200 euros a day so you can break even.
Yeah, it was disheartening when I asked for that, and people would be like, I can't. It sucks because it's like, fuck, like we're
Yeah,
from
I know, but
Canada,
it's
and I get it. I get it that it's like they can't just throw this money, but it sucks to have to ask for that much as a minimum. It fucking sucks.
yeah, I know. Yeah, but that's how it works. Like I was just spending 10 days in the UK a month ago.
Hmm.
I did this tour and it was so bad, man. Like the band told me when they start booking the tour, all the people are just like being super happy. Oh, you guys are coming to the UK. We're gonna book a tour, a show for you. And then just before the tour started, they start canceling like quite a lot of those shows. And
Fuck.
there was like 4 shows in a row. I think that we were getting like 40 pounds a night
Oh,
with no drinks, with no food. Well, we got a sleeping place sometimes, but it was hard.
yeah. You ever get
Yeah.
you're stiffed for money? You ever have a band like not pay you?
No,
Never.
never.
Hmm.
No, it
Well,
was never that bad.
yeah, well, because I just not that we didn't do it, but that last tour we did, it sucked. We were, like I was going to the credit card machine using my credit card to like cover our
Oh,
dailies or
fuck.
whatever. Yeah, it fucking sucked, man.
No, it never happened to me. There was a time, the tour I told you about before, that the bands didn't break even, and that was the deal from the booking agency they had. The booking agency told them they're gonna break even, so they don't need to worry about the money.
Yeah.
But they didn't break even. There was like I think about 200 euros they were missing or 300, and they decided to not pay it. And I mean to the agency, not to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but that time we played in Scotland, and I didn't have time to exchange the Scottish money because like I think you guys played Scotland last time, right?
No, no, we didn't do Scotland. No, we did the
Okay.
UK. The Sabs did the UK last time.
But anyway, we like the English pound. It's different. So in England, it's the normal English pound, but once you come to Scotland, it's a different one. They have
Hmm.
4 different banks, and all the money bills they look different. So I didn't know that, but when I got back home, I just decided to get paid in that money. But I realized that there is no way you're gonna exchange this money over here.
Fuck.
So I was stuck with a pile of like Scottish pounds that nobody wanted. And after 2 months of searching around, I finally found a bank.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, where I can do it. And even on that bank, they were like not sure if I can exchange everything, and they were like looking at me, where the fuck did you get this money?
Oh man, it was having you. I just that makes me think of like I remember being just on the eastern part of Europe, and you were figuring out the exchange rates, and you really like did more than just drive. You were really like a tour manager, which is funny that you don't charge more for that. Like for us, it was like, fuck, that's great because we don't know, we can't speak the language. You know, you were speaking to locals, and
Yeah,
it
I
helps.
was never putting a price on my own because I was always working for somebody else.
Hmm.
I never had my own van, my own gear, and I never could put like a price for myself. And I was always for the people I was working, they always like told me, uh, what is a reasonable price for the bed I'm gonna drive. So,
Hmm.
I was down for everything. Like the money was not the main reason for me.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was enough. I got paid, of course, but I was not very, trying to tell the bands how much money do I need and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, it really showed, man. It showed that you enjoyed it. Like you were having as much fun as we were seeing things and talking to people, and um
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's cool. We've been lucky. Actually, so far, yeah, 2. Wojtek was great. You were great. Marco, our buddy Marco, was supposed to drive us, and he drove our other friends, but my other friends just had nothing but good things to say. And it's a job, and I would just picture myself being a little more miserable. I don't know. Do you find it? I guess most people are probably pretty rad. I've generally always just heard cool stories of the drivers, like above and beyond. Like our driver was amazing. You know, when we got home, all we could talk about was how awesome our Slovenian
yeah.
driver was. Like this fucking guy Simone, man. Just so
Thanks.
rad. Yeah, so rad, man. I kind of hope we can get time to hang more when we come back, because last time was too short after spending a month
Yeah.
with you, and it is what it is, but I want to spend some more time, man. It'd be fucking get some more bro tats.
Yeah, I hope it's gonna happen in January when you guys are coming back.
It'd be nice, man. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure. I'm sure. I haven't really. You know what it is? I don't like talking about it because I hate people who are like, "We're doing this thing," and then you're like, "Oh, cool," and then nothing happens, and then it's like, "Well, what happened to your thing?" You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I guess it's just more of a fire
Yeah.
under my ass to make sure we fucking do it.
Yeah, there is still a lot of time to make sure
Well, dude,
about
listen,
everything.
listen, man. I don't want to keep you too long. I do these about this long, and then I'll do this thing called the Hibzine, which is just I play some music. But you don't play in a band yourself. But any suggestions for something I could play? Is there what's like something cool you've been listening to lately?
Lately,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's mostly, I guess, some rock and roll garage stuff.
Like
That's my favorite one lately. Yeah, we are having an upcoming show at the venue now. It's gonna be this band Bad Race from the States. I don't
Bad
know if you know
Race.
them. Bad Race, yeah.
No, I'll look them up though. I'll play it. I play the music, so I'll play it after. Should I play some of their stuff?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You should put the song Black Lighting. It's a very cool song, and I'm really looking forward for this show.
Cool.
But as I said before, I have seriously no time. I'm listening to music like a little bit in the car when I'm going to my job, but that's it. I don't remember even last time I put a record on in my room
Well, it just
because yeah, I'm just working till like very late, and then I'm going to sleep.
yeah. Well, that's not forever, right? It's seasonal. You'll get back to
Yeah,
putting some relaxation in your life. But okay, let me just actually just well, this is Bad Race. That's what it's called.
yeah.
Okay, Bad Race. Black Lightning. Quick note: it's actually the Bell Rays with Black Lightning. Here we go.
Storm cloud are coming straight to you. You can't run for shelter. There's nothing you can do. I'm a new sensation. I'm on fire. Overload your system's gonna jump your wires. I'm black lightning.
Okay, cool. That was that. That's really it, man. I just wanted to call and just talk for a bit and like have people hear what it's like for, you know, the Slovenian driver that's kind of a legend in some circles in here in Canada.
Yeah.
But yeah, shit, man. Let me I don't know. I'll close this off real quick here. I fucked up the ending, so I just wanted to redo it. But yeah, thanks for listening. These are up on YouTube. These, if you go to the homepage, takerwide.com, you can listen to them there. Search through the app store, whatever your app store is. And I know Stitcher has this. I know iTunes has it, like the podcast app. I need to do more research too to see where else you guys can find this. But subscribe, rate, and review if you guys can. Go to iTunes and just leave a little review. That helps the show. Follow the Instagram page if you haven't already. It's just Taker Wide Podcast. That's how you find it. What else? I guess the sponsors. Yeah, if you guys can, at least check out the page, and it'd be cool to hear from the sponsors that they're selling stuff from the show. They believe in it, and that's kind of, you know, you pay for ads to have people hopefully buy your stuff. So dapperbeardoil.com. Use the promo code TakerWide free ship for the free shipping. DFA Tattoos out in Montreal. If you're looking for a place, stop in there. Maybe mention like, yeah, I heard of you guys through the show. That'd be dope. Kevin Rigo at Hefner Toyota out in Kitchener. Mention the show, gets special pricing on new vehicles. Wellington Brewery for the beers. DaveLevittPhotography.ca for the support. Heartbeat Hot Sauce for the hot sauce. It's so good. Save your money. Use TakerWide 5 when you sign out, and you'll get that 5% off of your cart. Am I forgetting anybody? I don't know. Am I? Heartbeat, Levitt, Wellington, Rigo, DFA, Dapper. I think that's it. Yeah, these are up every week. What else can I say? Just that's it, man. Fuck, kind of rambling here. It's an early morning one because he's out in Europe, and my coffee still hasn't kicked in. This is Taker Wide, guys. Thank you for listening. I'll be back next week, and I don't know, tell your friends you love them and hug them, and let's just appreciate what we have. I don't know. Have a good day, guys. I love you. Peace.